Well, all right, and welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Look, I got my peep with me, man, Dave. Hey, what's going on, family?
Happening back again, back again. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now, as we journey into this topic, hopefully we'll have some more guests that will come on and share this very important subject matter that we're discussing today. And we're dealing with Indigenous Unity, right?
Okay.
And now the motivation behind this specific topic, there's a young lady, I call her young lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's on TikTok. She's from the Dominican.
Okay.
And she did a video apologizing to African Americans because she was saying how she didn't understand the struggle that African Americans been through in order for her to get the advantages that she has in her country.
Okay.
She was basically saying she apologized because she said she was one of the ones that was saying that she wasn't black. But then she had to realize, wait a minute, all the discrimination she faced from in her country from the European type Dominicans, just she was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I went through. She said, so she was saying black people in America, thank y'all for y'all struggle. Thank y'all for making us to be proud of our hair, our eyes, our lips, and who we are in our culture. She said we got that from y'all from watching your struggle and what you all been through in America.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
And it made me say, wow, what would it look like if we were all unified in some way from the Pebbles. What's going on, Pebbles? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Pebbles in the building. What's going on,
Hello.
family? Pretty good. And I'm gonna just bring you up to speed, right? Because we just getting into it.
Okay.
I was telling him how the young lady from the Dominican was thanking African Americans for their contribution and then to the race. She was saying how she's Dominican, and she was one of the ones who was saying, "I'm no black." But then I started thinking about it. Wait a minute, the way I was treated and what was going on. Wait a minute, she just realized she's like, "Wait a minute, I am black." So she was saying how she was discriminated against and how some of the Dominicans be discriminated against from the lighter skin of the European Dominicans. So she basically thanking African Americans. She said, I thank y'all for what y'all did. And she said, and I thank y'all for loving y'all hair and loving y'all lips and loving who y'all are. She almost broke into tears, right? So I was asking Dave, and this goes to you as well, Pebbles, what would it look like with unity across the globe, whether it be from Belize to the Dominican, from Puerto Rico, Africa, African Americans, all through the Caribbean, UK. Man, how would that picture look, y'all? Who want to go first?
I'll go first. I think it'll be how it's originally supposed to be, honestly, with the unity. I think it's hard for us to see it because we've been through so much and it's only one sided from, so we have an idea in our minds and our hearts what it would look like and what it would feel like because we've been through so much, you know what I mean? But I think it'll be the original way it's supposed to be with the unity with everybody because once you start dividing everybody up based on skin tones, origins, this and stuff like that, everybody else claims doing the same thing a different way. You know what I mean? But it's only one way to do everything, and it's the right way. So I think it would be, you had those big family get together and you got one big picture with everybody and cousins and uncles and aunties you ain't seen in so long and you're just happy to see them and be a part of it. I think that's what it looks like.
Come on. you think, Pebbles?
Wow, that would be incredible, especially being that, if we can get away from that great setup, and the setup was to separate us based on how we look. If we could get away from that, truly get away from it, and everybody really just accept the reality, that if you are Black, you're just Black. I mean, that's just it. Because
Right.
it's very beautiful. We are very beautiful people, and we come in all different shades and whatever. And I mean, I would love to see it happen,
Yeah,
because
that'd be
I
nice.
do. I truly love my people.
Yes,
I
you do.
love my people, and I love my Black men,
Come on, girl. Come on. And then
and
look,
that's just it.
that's right.
Oh,
And look, now Pebbles, she's not just saying this, right? She actually is doing it, right? She adopted
oh, that's good.
two young men from Jamaica that she's also helping after Hurricane Melissa stormed through. She
Oh,
reached across the globe to help. So I mean, I gotta give you your ups for that. That, I mean, that's extraordinary. Everybody don't do that, you know.
right.
And the thing, and now in order to solve this thing though, if we can, and I don't even know if this can be done, but just the attempt at it to figure out what technique and what method was used to break us apart. I don't know if we know the story of Osiris. Some say he was cut into 13 pieces, some say 14 pieces. But yet, it seemed like we were cut up and scattered all over the planet, disunified, and then somebody came, colonizer, and made sure those pieces never came back together again. Break day and night to make it not come back together again. I mean, they even got it down as far as to the food. I mean, they just had the debate at the Essence Festival between jambalaya rice and jollof rice. you know,
They're two different things. It's not the same. It's not even the same. Everything has its own purpose and significance. No, when I want to eat the jollof rice, let me eat it. When I want to eat the jambalaya, let me eat it. No, it shouldn't be compared,
Right.
because
come on,
they're not the same.
it's not the same. It's not the same. And two, to get even I was watching a clip even on on the Jamaican side. It's like even with religion. I mean, it's like whether it's food, religion, soccer, NFL, you name it. We gotta say, it's not like how we do it, so I don't want to try that. It's not that way, so I don't want to touch it. If it's not the way my great great so and so made it, then I'm not dealing with it. Won't even give it a try.
I think sometimes, man, you have a competitive nature. I think that's a trait that everybody have. It's not necessarily to be number one, but it's still the competitive part of it. It's like, well, I'm stronger. Well, I'm smarter. I'm faster. That part still exists in each person.
Uh,
I know it men. I know it exists because we gonna compete. We're gonna battle. We're gonna bump heads. We're gonna do it. It's just
but
in a man's nature. He's gonna want to allow let the next man know you can't just do what you think you can do. So
it,
we
it,
have that.
but did y'all see? And it's not just that; it was that in females as well. When Shakira Richardson and the USA team was running against the Jamaican track team,
Yeah.
they blew that out of proportion, right? I
Right.
mean,
In which, if it should be a joke, the joke it was supposed to be between us,
There you
right,
go.
not outsiders.
right,
You understand? If we said, "Oh, okay, we're the American quote unquote quote or blacks,"
Mm-hmm.
we should have that discussion among ourselves and our own brothers and sisters, not the outsider. They wanted to get in it, so they'll be a part to create, like, okay, then that division.
There you go.
And that's what they attempted to do. But like I said, if the joke is to be, it's for us and among us.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Like Malcolm X said, don't air your differences out in public, y'all. Even if y'all gotta go in a closet somewhere and discuss and debate it, but when you come out, just act like y'all at a unified front.
That's right.
You know, don't be arguing all in front of everybody, and you know what I mean. Because I'm understanding how clever this colonizer is. He can take one sound, he can take one disagreement and blow it out of proportion. Next thing you know, folks at each other's throat. And he would step back and act like I don't know what's going on. You know, well,
That's right.
I
And
don't know what
actually
happened.
created it. Yeah, but
Right.
we have to be smarter. And I always say this: if we are so smart, why don't we act like it?
Right. But how do we? And that's the thing, though.
We
But
need to act like it, meaning that we need to stop all that and recognize the different systems that's being put in place. We just
listen,
have to we have to do it. We don't have a choice because we've tried all the other ways and nothing worked.
it don't work.
Nothing worked.
Look. Check this out, y'all. You know, dope and guns go together. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that, right? I
Okay.
noticed when they started flooding the community with the dope, with the drugs, you would have trucks that broke down or a train. I remember one was on to Lesbian. Train broke down, right? And nothing but guns in it. Truck broke down, nothing but guns in it. They
Wow.
thought that was the setup. They got them guns, sold the gun right after they dropped the dope in the community. Next thing you know, here come the gun. Set up. It was a setup, man. That's so when I be hearing people saying, look, my hood is harder than your hood. My city is harder than your city. Bro, they dropped the same dope and guns off in each city, and everybody killing each other behind the same dope with the same gun.
Okay, so they cloned Tyrone.
Come on, bro.
Again,
They cloned
in a different perspective, the same thing, right?
the same thing.
That's what I like about our generation. Our generation, we're to that point where we've been there, seen that, done that. So we understand. It's just we're working on how to bring the other generations up to speed because they thinking that, oh, y'all don't know. Like, no, it took us a lot to make it this far. Y'all don't know what we've been through. You know?
Right.
So when we can say, we can literally look back and say, I remember when that neighborhood didn't look like that. I remember when their stuff was brand new. I remember when the sidewalks were clean. I remember, when we drive through it now and you see those places and you like, y'all just don't know, this didn't used to look like this. This wasn't like this. But some people, that's their reality. They grew up in it. And that's all they've ever seen. So we're like, no, we got a little bit more wisdom about these times that we're facing. Like you said, the systems and different things that they're going to do. We try to warn them and they fall for it every time.
You're right. Cause we didn't fight to protect what was good, and we didn't listen to the ones who gave us warning, saying, "Hey, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen." Right?
Right, but it was a system. And again, that was a system put in place to make those individuals, all the activists and different things like that. Oh, they're crazy. Something wrong with them. They're a part of a cult. This, that, and the other. Okay. That was what we were told to make them. They put things out to make those people seem like they were crazy. But then now we know, like, oh man, it's been people before us fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know, like, okay, then, now those people were legit.
Yeah.
And so here we are. We are those people now.
Right. We got to make it right. Right. We got to make it right. We got to show those of us, because you can remember a time, especially for a young black male, a lot of us, man, will I make it to 21? Will I make it to 25? Ooh. So you make it past 25, right? That deep. And then those of us that made it past 25 that didn't get 20, 30 years in the penitentiary, right? Mm-hmm. Have to give a message to the youth who don't have the example of someone who has made it past to their 40s and 50s, right? To show them how to sustain life when you get to that age. Meaning, do you have something put away in the system? Do you have something to where you can retire on, right? Do you have, you're gonna need medical benefits if your whole perspective in life is to become a rapper, right? Then use the rappers before you who died but didn't, or got sick and didn't have medical insurance and had to get people to donate money in order to bury them.
Yeah.
Put some of that money back into a meaning this is real life. Life is not television or a video game. This is real life. You got to put something back to sustain yourself in your family, and then understand how the stocks work or whether you're doing mutual funds. All of that economics is part of the game, right?
See, I think our generation, I think we're more unified than a lot of other generations. I think because if you look at it, everybody after us really biting our style. They're really taking everything that we've done and trying to remix it like we just standing right here and we don't see it happening. But I think when there's a time for unity, I think our generation will understand what unity really means. I think we could come together stronger to at least to be the foundation of it, because we know before us, when they would do it, you still would have somebody be like, well, that's y'all over there. Hey, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna go ahead and hey, I'm just gonna work my job, do this. I don't want no trouble. Our generation was a little bit more rebellious. We know better. We had songs like Self Destruction, and we're all the same. So we've been unified a long time through our music, through our culture, everything we do. So I think we're a stronger foundation as far as if anybody going to be united, I think we are.
Well, let me make sure it is. Let me make sure it is. So is it easier to unify with the Latino community or with the African or the Caribbean community? Because in hip hop, you had the blacks, you had the Puerto Ricans, and especially in Texas, you got the blacks, and we all can remember when the first Hispanic families started moving in the neighborhood. We wondering, and they didn't have no money.
I think it's a new breed of people, because when we were growing up, honestly, they stayed in their lane. They didn't really feel they embraced their own culture. They had their own thing, and we respected and they respected ours. And then I think over time they felt more comfortable with our style, because our culture became the mainstream. Because remember, they didn't want to have anything to do with what we were doing. When we became the mainstream, I think they were the first ones to accept it more than everyone else. And because they've been rocking with us for the longest, but then when they felt that they could do the same thing, they started to be like, well, this is ours now. Hold on. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. So I think growing up, because they used to be it wasn't a chance when somebody would just come to you and felt like they could talk to you any kind of way.
Yeah, well, we used to wear the Castro and the Che Guevara shirts.
We should. We kind of adapted some of their style. They adapted some of our stuff. It wasn't a thing about this is ours, because at that time, remember, we was trying to make it grow. We wanted everybody to accept us, So I think the Latinos were the first ones because they were the closest to us. I think they were the first ones that kind of, adapt some of our styles.
And they still are the closest to us.
Right. But
they really are.
They are.
Although, it's because of certain things now, which we know now, especially with this stuff with ICE and all of that, let's say the colonizers made them feel, some kind of way. And that made them feel like, okay, then I'm better then. But then, of course,
wake up call.
They've been shown. And I said the thing of it is the use of the Latino, that word.
Right.
Oh, okay, then. With Trump saying Latino, but he was still talking about building building a wall at the border. So hold on a minute. So you all welcome this, but then you forgot about what else
Right.
he said.
Right.
So now they've really been shown. So okay then.
Yeah, because
It's,
the civil rights movement they benefited from.
yeah, everybody has
Everybody.
benefited. Everybody.
That's right.
Everybody.
Right. But yet, see, and that's the thing. That's what I was saying. I don't care who you are. If you coming into America, you're gonna have to learn African American culture.
Oh
You're
yeah,
gonna learn our history.
definitely.
So you can understand where things are. I don't care if you from Pakistan, you're Arab, India.
Right.
You coming into America, you need to learn African American history because there's no sense for you to bring your caste system over here and how some people in the Latino community how they are prejudiced towards the darker skinned Latinos within the community. I can give you a perfect example. I knew a friend who I thought the grandmother was the maid, the way they used to treat her. And
Ugh.
I mean, no, that's my grandmother, and she was my color.
Wow.
I said, wait a minute, that's her grandmother, right? But then
Yeah.
later on in life, they wanted to weed out the darker skinned Latinos out of their community. Think they get closer to, I guess, the Spaniard looking or whatnot.
Oh, the grandma in the closet.
Yeah, the grandma in the class. Man, bro.
That's what they were.
And I was in high school, and I'm like, wait, this your grandmother? Like, in my mind, I'm saying, well, how did that happen? How could this be your grandmother?
Taught.
Uh,
Definitely.
and when you go, but then when you study and you go back in time, they are always that color until they mix with the European Spaniards. Or the Brits who came, or the Romans, or some of the Greeks. And so it's like, okay, I'm getting it. But still,
right.
Whenever it's one brother and one Mexican brother and the rest is white people, some kind of way that brother and that Hispanic wound up back to back like damn something go down. We ain't got no choice.
Oh yeah, we know what's up.
Yeah,
they do too. I mean, ultimately they do. And believe me, I just think that's our closest ally. At the end of the day, I mean, it really is, no matter what.
I think they share hard times. They know what hard times look like. We know what it feel like. So we both we have that in common. They maybe not to the extreme like we have, but they understand that when it comes down to it, we've all experienced without.
Right. But see, they came to America and some of them tried to make a move. Like, okay, we finna partner up with white folks. Because I even heard an African person, lay female, told me that when they first come to America, they kind of discouraged them from coming around African American.
Right. When they go into even
know?
when they're getting their citizenship, they told them to basically, like just to stay away from us.
And that's our fault. It's our fault because we gotta make immigration display every invention that black folks created that these foreigners over here utilizing, so they can understand and have respect for the people that invented these things.
But see, one thing about that though, it's like they're never gonna do that. Even if we do it, they're still gonna be to the point to where they feel for social acceptance. Like, okay, yeah, I can have knowledge of this, but in order for me to succeed and have the American dream, I got to take this road. You know what I mean? And when they do that, they fall short. Then you want to come back over this way after you got the reality check that okay, that's just a dream, American dream. You come, you know, they prosper. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. You know. And stepping on people to get there is really not the way to do it. They find that out a harsh reality.
You know how many
it ain't happening.
Look, you know how many Latino brothers who created a business in a company, had a home, but was here illegally, And when ICE swooped them up, all that business, that equipment, that truck, them homes, that's on the market now. Or they'll move somebody right into that business that they already got set up. They way back in Mexico. You're not never coming back to get that business again.
See, that's the thing, man. That's one of the things. If you're gonna do stuff illegal and then try to make it legal, you feel me? What example are you setting?
But they saying that, hey, this was Texas, California. This was Mexico.
Exactly.
But was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they saying, yeah, it was, but it's not now. Because
Okay.
that's the.
But yeah, that's part of the Gaspar Yanga.
Yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah, he created. Wait, they don't even know who Gaspar Yanga was.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. But I tell them. I say, oh, now I really know why I love Cinco de Mayo.
All right, he created. We gotta sell. We need to get some Gaspar Yanga T-shirts.
I mean, it's just so much. It's so much. Like again, in school, the information we was given, that was carefully orchestrated to just present us with just, a certain people, and limited over and over every year. Not all the other people that did such great things. And it's like when you find out, it's like, oh my God. It was just like when I was preparing, doing studying for my GMAT, and I was writing my, what I needed to do to submit my paperwork to Texas A&M for their maritime program. So here I am, doing and writing, so I can present, because they want to see if you can write, right? Mm-hmm. So the more I learned about all the black men, the captains, the ship captains that made all their contributions. If I tell you I had so many emotions, I went high and low. Boy, I was so ticked. I was like, what the hell? This one did this did this, and whatever. I was like, we never learned about that for something so important.
Yeah.
So important. The exporting and the importing. That is important. But why we weren't talked about the black people that made the contributions to that?
Right.
So now it's like it's just so much, right?
Wow. So really, instead of grandma and grandpa in the closet, African Americans in the closet.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, yes. Until you go dig, and it's like, oh my God, every time it's one summit. Actually, every year we could be presented for this so-called Black History Month with so many other people. You get flooded with people you've never heard of.
Look, oh my God, look. The older generation talking about the African American grandparents. You brought up certain names. Let's say Nat Turner. Don't y'all talk about that? They don't want to talk about Martin and Rosa Parks. That was it. You bring up a revolutionary, the Panthers. Oh, wait a minute now.
Or the lady that did the bus cotton before Rosa Parks. Yeah, it was another lady.
Yeah, they didn't want her. They didn't want her to be the face. How you gonna choose for? That's what I'm saying. But see, that was our fault, because we wanted to go along to get along so bad, because we thought if we play by your rules and we get rid of the people that y'all don't like, y'all was gonna embrace us. Y'all was gonna welcome us in. We was gonna all be one big happy family. But what happened was they made y'all bury the strength, put the least amount of strength out front. That way they wouldn't have no problem taking over a conquer. Like Nixon said, he said, you got to put a black in charge, put one that's incompetent, so when we get ready to take it back, it'll be a little fight. We won't have a big fight. It'll be easy to take it back from him. He told him, man, if you got to put a black, don't never put no black person in charge that's competent, because it's going to be hard to take it back. So it's wild, bro. It is. It's wild how that way,
That's what I like about these times, and with the technology and stuff, that we do have a voice now, and we can, come together like we're doing right now. We're coming together and we're discussing it, open topic. Everybody can voice their opinions about it. The fact of it is, it's going to reach other people, and hopefully, they feel comfortable doing the same thing and see that it's not as hard as it's made to be, but it's just us, taking a stand and actually participating.
And welcome on the panel, Pan African Moor, Jonathan. What's up, God?
What's going on?
You got it. So basically, we're on a topic. We dealing with the history of the contributions that was made by melanated Black people. We talked Gaspar Younger. I know you have some lineage with Vicente Guerrero. And
okay, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear anything.
And you have some lineage with Vicente Guerrero. And that story of John Horse, which is tied with Vicente Guerrero, because John Horse led the largest slave rebellion in America, and they don't even want you to bring up his name. And after he left America, he became a general in the Mexican army that with Vicente Guerrero put him as a general. And he was a Seminole out of Florida, right? So on your take though, Brother Pan African Moor, as far as how close is our connection with the quote unquote Latino community?
Well, one thing is just for the record that we still got to do some verification on President Vicente Guerrero. But as far as our connection, and as far as even he is concerned, is that he was fighting and he actually helped to end slavery in Mexico. And he was assassinated. He was taken out. I want to say like maybe 9 months after he became president.
Right.
And as far as our relationship with Latinos, when you go into those quote unquote Latin American countries, you find in some of the older communities, you'll find our people there. And it's even as far as when it comes to mixing and amalgamation, we amalgamate with them more than any other race on the planet. Now there's still colorism, when you go to Latin America, and all of that's coming from colonialism. Because after the Moors were knocked down in 1492 in Grenada, Spain, the last Moor stronghold fell, and Spain and Portugal basically became the big dogs on the planet. The way that politics is done worldwide and everything changed, the face changed. And, they still commemorate that fall of the Moors over in Europe. They have festivals, once a year. And they had one in Philadelphia here in America called Boxing Day, where they put on blackface. So whenever you see blackface with the red lips, that is a caricature of the Moors, and it is a mockery of the Moors, because that's when the whole game changed worldwide. We didn't have nation states before, Europe took over. And, when you go into Africa, you have all these what they call francophone countries where they're using the French currency and they speak the French language. And these are places that were colonized by the French, and they speak English in Africa, all over Africa. The British colonized parts of Africa. The Portuguese conquered Brazil. That's why they speak Portuguese in Brazil. And the history really, when they talk, when we think about colonialism in America, and they talk about what they call the quote unquote Native Americans, and the Africans that was fighting during those times and those slave revolts, and you had sellouts on both sides. You had Africans selling each other out. You had so-called Native Americans selling each other out, and even as far as the Native Americans selling out Africans. And one of my ancestors, Matalita, my grandma Matalita, she land was passed down to her, and she was in Texas, because I got a lot of family from East Texas. And while she was fleeing from the Europeans trying to murder her, trying to take her land, when Texas actually took over the land here, when the Europeans took over Texas, that's when her land was taken from her, and she hid amongst the Caddo Indians, Caddo, by the Caddo River, and they actually hid her so she can escape getting murdered. And so, that whole, Native American African thing that was going on back in those times is the same thing going on today. We just call them Latinos now. We're known as black people. And
Right.
so it's the same dynamic, and you got the same sellout actions, and you got the same tribalism that was going on back then. You have a reflection of it today, because it ain't nothing new under the sun. Things just change in different shapes, form, and fashion, but they repeat themselves. So it's the
Um,
same old fight. It's the same old tribalism. It's the same whole divide and conquer game, and it's elitism. We got to get past it in order to consolidate power. Would you say, Black?
Okay, so I appreciate that insight on that. We getting ready to we gotta some of the guests gotta ride. We gotta ride. But look, Black Pete, would that be considered the Moor? Y'all know Christmas time coming up. Santa Claus had Black Pete the Moor with him, and that's the whole history behind that. Which we got to do that. We got to do something on Christmas before Christmas. Matter of fact, yeah, because we don't have time to do Thanksgiving. We can't do the one on Christmas and Saint Nick and Constantine and Arius coming out of Egypt, and Santa Claus slapped Arius because that whole we got to get into that whole topic. Oh man, yeah, I'm glad you said the Moors with the red lips, and I'm glad that you were able to uh, uh, give us information regarding that our Latino brothers and sisters can understand. Because really, to be honest with you, we have to educate them basically on their history, because they've been brainwashed too. They don't know a lot of their history. They got to realize that. Remember Pebbles and Dave, we was talking about the grandmother and grandfather in the closet.
Yeah, it's called Latin and it's called Black in Latin America.
But
I'm trying to see what it's called.
but the point I'm making.
Yeah, Grandma in the Closet. And it's
Yeah,
it's a
Henry
series.
Louis Gates. But I'm saying their grandparents have a whole history of what took place that we have, and maybe they didn't pass it down to their grandchildren after they start getting lighter and lighter, white not, I guess. So,
Right.
but we know that history, so we got to teach what their grandparents should have taught them that they don't know.
Yeah, what they tried to hide because, to separate them from having anything to do with being Black. That was why they did it. But actually, like, even a lot of their food is food that Africans eat.
But it's right, because their food came from the
A little
Moors.
different. I mean, a little
South
deeper.
Africa. Right. The rice, the falafel, and the taco, that's the Moors brought that in, because the Sultans wanted of that type of meal, but all they had was a taco, and that's how they were putting meat in the taco. That came from the North Africa, from the Moors coming into Spain, and they brought it to Mexico. I mean, the history's so vast, y'all. But look,
so is that why they say Afro Latino? Is that they trying to add them together, mix it in Afro?
But it has been something that has been in existence. Even
the one that's probably Black ever,
even with the music, because in college I took a class and my teacher actually had us where we had to read about stuff and have authentic stuff or whatever. But no, they have like even the type of music is Afro Latin or whatever else. And I mean, it stays in its own genre. They don't say it again.
Afro beats.
No, I don't think it's Afro beats. No,
I know what you're talking about, but
they want the music to
like,
the guy
what's Celia Cruz?
this kind of music.
You talking about like reggae? I mean like reggae?
Well, no,
Reggae.
Cecilia Cruz, it was more like a where you do the salsa too.
Yes, I have
The
to. I want to make sure.
Yeah, like
merengue?
merengue. Yeah.
No, no. When we talk again, I'll have the exact name for it.
But look, y'all, I appreciate it. And we'll pick back up on the topic as time permits. But thank you all for being on the show. Brother Pan African Moore, Dave, hey, Sister Pebbles, always a pleasure. Bro Creek Radio, hey, we out, fam.
All right. Peace out.
So,